everyone, a very warm welcome to all our viewers. We are back with another power packed panel discussion. So today's topic of discussion is future of work, preparing students for future careers and the evolving job market. We have two distinguished educators on the panel to share their thoughts and insights on how to prepare today's generation for tomorrow's world. Let me introduce our panelists. Dr. Gauri Prabha Prasad. She is a distinguished educational leader with academic excellence and a seasoned school administrator. The principal of Gurukul High School in Bangalore, Dr. Prasad has over 15 years of experience in education as a teacher, HR, and administrator. With multiple advanced degrees, she holds PhDs in business administration and education. She has been recognized with numerous awards for her innovative approaches and leadership in education. Dr. Prasad's expertise spans around curriculum development, staff professional development, and effective conflict resolution. With a background in organizing impactful educational programs and community initiatives, she exemplifies dedication to creating positive learning environments and advancing educational standards. Welcome to the panel, ma'am. Our next panelist is Mrs. Saira Nazreen, a dedicated educational leader with over 22 years of experience in transforming academic institutions. As the campus director and principal of Bangalore International Academy, Whitefield, she excels in curriculum development, lesson planning, and public speaking. Her extensive background includes managing both CBSE and ICSE curricula, implementing innovative educational strategies, and integrating advanced technology into school operations. Her expertise extends to budgeting, academic assessment, and creating impactful programs. A master's in English literature and gold medalist, Mrs. Saira Nazreen holds specialized certifications in education and special needs. We welcome you to the panel, ma'am.
Thank you.
So here are the first question to our panelist, to Gauri ma'am. What role do school plays in preparing students for careers that may not exist? How can we future-proof our curriculum in today's generation?
Yeah. Let me start it like this. What is education after all? Why do child come to school? Why are we sending our children to school? We are ultimately at the end of the 18 years of child's life. Either you choose a university course, depending on, let it be any generation. Let it go from generations to generations. We ultimately want education for survival. So the current changes or the trends of change, which has evolved over generations, we see it is going to be in a rapid condition. Mobile phones, which used to take years to evolve, today it comes in seconds. Every second you have a new model of telephone coming out, which we used to see after 10 years. So the education today, generation gap which used to be between mother and daughter, today is between the two siblings. So the challenges which is going to be faced by the child is also going to be the same way. So we cannot hold on back to the old methods. We need to develop somewhere or change somewhere depending on the needs. And the need of the hour is skill. At the end, knowledge can be acquired, but the skill has to be developed. And I think as school, it takes a very, very important role in developing the skills of the child in first instance, so that further, let it be, even if after an era of say 20-25 years, which is going to be the service period of the child must be sustaining and surviving in the industry. It is not of just getting a job, but sustaining in the job is going to be a challenge for the further generation. So that's why I believe that developing skills in the school curriculum has to be on priority at present. Secondly, I believe making children having growth mindset. Today's generation, it is very easy to get things, which we used to struggle. Why are we, I, you or ma'am today are sitting in this place? Because we had that need or the urge for developing. What we see today is the a child is getting things very easy, which we used to have in 5 or 5 to 6 siblings, is only one child at a home at their house today, and both parents working. So things are easy. So there is no need for the child to acquire something or urge to get something. So we need to have that growth mindset, and that is going to be the priority on school to prepare the children for the future needs. Thirdly, preparing parents for this challenge, which is also going to be the part of school's necessity today, because parenting now has become experimentation. It is no more. It is somewhere we had elders who wished to teach, and we have nuclear families, more nuclear, with single parenting coming out today. So in that case, parenting is just experimenting what others have done. So it's a need of school today to have parenting workshops at your school level to prepare the change in parents, so that tomorrow the child is not, whatever the child is going to come out as, the parent also need to accept it. So that is where I think school plays a very important role in preparing the children for future.
That's the great answer, ma'am. So my next question is to Saira Nazreen, ma'am. How can schools incorporate financial literacy and entrepreneurship into their programs to equip students with skills needed for self-employment and business management? Because today a lot of people are coming up with startup ideas. So even students, they will get these inspirations at the early stage. So how will school help them for these skills?
So first of all, let me thank you for inviting us for this wonderful discussion. Yeah, I totally agree that school play a very, very important role. The fundamental and the first duty of our academician or academic leader is to draft the curriculum in such a way that we meet the 21st century skill set. So what is this 21st century skill set? It is about the life skills. The life skills what we are talking about. So way back we had a curriculum that precise only to the classroom and the understanding of knowledge. Here we'll go beyond the classroom, understanding the real life situation at every context. Now when we are talking about, I totally agree with ma'am telling that today it's a nuclear family and the kids are not getting the exposure what we used to get. At the same time, when we talk about the financial literacy and entrepreneurships and all these things, these are the life skills. These are the skill set. But at the foundation, at the fundamental level, the school plays a very, very important role. Now, incorporating the skills which help, which adapt the students to learn at the basic level. So, starting the subject of financial literacy at fundamental level when we start our middle school. So the students should be given chance to manage their finances. They have to understand how the finance has to be taken care. Now we provide everything. At their doorstep, everything is available. But how? What is the cost? Is it important? Whether it is a want or a need? So that has to be explained. This can be explained to experimental studies. Like when we go out, take to the project, take to the field trips and engage the students, giving them some projects and get back the result. So this analytical thinking, critical analysis on finances has to be developed right from the fundamental or the middle school or the basic age at the school level if we start. When we are talking about entrepreneurship, when we talk about youth, the youth in India is 30%. In the world, if we see today at present, the youth is very, very important for the growth of economy. Now when we compare Indian economy, right? So Indian economy is developing economy. So the growth of any nation depends upon the youth. So when we are coming up with entrepreneurship, so what is this entrepreneurship? Why it has evolved? Why it has suddenly erupted like a volcano in recent years? It's a need of an hour. because everybody wants to feel that they are independent, they have the skill set, and they can independently own and run it with what? With some finances. And how can they multiply? How can they grow? This growth is not the individual growth. This is the growth of the country, the nation, and the whole GDPI when we consider it. So this is what, when we take the financial literacy at the basic foundation level and entrepreneurship, giving them the career guidance at the bottom level, at the initial, when they understand which, what, how the career has to be taken. So when we make them understand, and interaction between the industrial expert, that will help them to make a wise choice for their growth.
Can I add up, ma'am?
Sure, sure.
Yeah. There was a time, when we were all children. When did you see your 100 rupee first note?
Maybe when I was 5, 6 years.
Yeah. We would have seen it after, say, around 12th standard, degree college.
Okay.
Some of our mothers, if you ask them, they would have not seen it after marriage, probably.
Right.
So, the children today are getting that 500 rupee note in age of 3. So they see money at a very, very early age. Nobody at home, money is easily accessible at home. So, and world outside is going to be a challenge for that child. See, no children want to be bad because they want to become bad. They get influenced by that. Now, how do you stop that? Is you literate them financially. So they have to know the value of that money and how you can utilize. That is one thing I would. The need of the hour is to learn financial literacy at very young age. Not even, I wouldn't say even 6th standard. By end of 3rd or 4th standard, they should know this is the note and how hard it is to earn that money, and how is, so that the child values that money and knows how he can, spend it meaningfully. Okay, so that is one challenge. And second thing is, today children, parents also, if you see post-COVID, the biggest challenge is having parents at the age of, first of all, late marriages.
Right.
Okay, 30, 32. The lifespan of today's generation is not more than 45 to 50.
Right.
Okay, your child is not even 18 years old, and the child, I have got live examples with me during this, 3-4 years, what I have seen. And what happens to those children who loses their father or mother at the age of 18? When you teach the child to become independent, not only entrepreneur, but anything, any child where he can utilize his skill to or generate revenue for his own education, do you think it wouldn't have, it would not have stopped his education? Because we have seen today software engineers of, age of 45, 44 having, heart attacks, and they would have had a lavish life till then. And suddenly there is a drop, and look at the mental state of the child, and then you just have to stop studying, might be a school dropout so many times. So probably entrepreneurship has to be developed at very young age, where he can use his own hobby and own skill to generate few revenue, which can just yield him some revenue to continue his own studies. So that itself should be the biggest challenge today's generation. I think with school has to really work over this now.
Maybe like small internships here
Yeah.
and there.
Not only small like hobbies, like might be you're putting some tailoring classes for the children, drawing classes, graphic designing, stickering, this vehicles, what we put sticker. Do you think it's easy? One stickering, just 35,000 the school pays for one school vehicle. So just imagine if a child works only on Saturday, Sunday. Don't you think it is going to be earning for the child's fees? So I think this, and nowadays school or universities are also coming up with skill development programs where their class or theory classes are restricted to 1:30, where post that they are mandatory going to work somewhere and bring back their internship to the university. So we have to start training at a very, very young age so that they know what is going to be their challenges.
That's two great answers that I've got, and I'm sure you're working towards the same in your schools,
Yes.
which is helping your students in many ways. With that, I have my next question to Gauri Prabha ma'am. So, with the rise of remote and hybrid work environments currently, How should schools adjust their programs to prepare students for this new working model?
First of all is our teachers to need to understand the change. It is very difficult for a school where we have diverse pool of trained teachers itself. Okay, now we have a teacher who is 25 years experienced and we have a fresher who is coming in with just 2 years. Who do you think is more capable?
The one who is with 2 years experience,
Experience today, and accepting for a 25-year-old experience that he has to restart thing is the biggest challenge what school is going through today. And every principal will see this change now. This the way we have to work with our senior staff especially, because unlearning something and relearning something which is going to be a challenge for that generation. Okay, so now that is also very important to need that, to understand the need to change by teachers, which is going to be the challenge for a school. This another one is going to be the accountability. How many teachers today come as teaching profession to be a substitute job? Might be a computer engineer, architect. I have lawyers. I have so many of them getting married. They would have got into the profession, but having a family life along with the profession was not possible. So the best choice was getting into education because you're back home by 3 o'clock. So you choose teaching as your profession, and many such teachers have come inside. But today, such teachers would not survive because we need to be accountable for things. So now when we are going, this is going to be our challenge when we can't get teachers, in the sense trained teachers, if we tell, no, this is not possible. Getting a teacher today is the biggest challenge, that too a good teacher. So when we get good teacher, how are you going to train that teacher? So that is also another, lot of having, CBSE has taken a lot of initiatives, and I'm really pledged. I mean, at the end of retirement time, at least we are seeing some change in education pattern, where it is not monotonously preparing children for getting 100% in physics, but I'm teaching physics to teach physics.
Right.
Yeah. So today I think that is what teachers need to be more responsible, more accountable, because you're shaping the future of that child. And teacher is the first person who will actually recognize the talent in a child. Okay, what is the strength of the child? When we are telling skills, see, we ourselves don't know what is my skill. If you ask me, I am basically a biotechnologist. Okay, I have also, like the same way, becoming a teacher by chance. So I had my future with some other dreams, and cutting off the dreams and then coming back, we know where is our strength. Now today, if I sit and realize, will I be good in a lab with no communication? Because that is my strength, is communication. So I believe the teacher has to understand the strength of the child, make him understand then where, because every job is successful only when there is an interest and that skill set. So let it be any job today. There is no necessity that I have taken up arts because I have not got 90%. Today a 90% cutout is important for an arts subject also.
True.
Yeah, so it is no more dependent on marks, but it is dependent on your skill to survive and sustain in the job market. I think that is going to be our school's priority to check out on this future challenges.
That's
I
a
want to
great
add
answer.
few things about the
Yeah, sure.
hybrid learning and teaching methodology and going to school. So hybrid teaching methodology, when we talk about, it has really worked during the COVID time. Okay,
Right.
and it was a transformation of education from the classroom to the technology. So within a span of 6 months, the skill set, the knowledge, the training, what the school has undertaken to equip the teachers and to continue with the teaching, where without wasting 1 year of education, this has led, a different step for the education. When we talk about the hybrid form of working, okay, maybe it looks monotonous, maybe it looks boring, maybe a few people enjoy. But it was a need of an hour during the COVID where the transformation had to happen. Without education, we would have lost students 1 or 2 academic year, and that would have being a greatest loss of the child, loss of education, that 2 years, if we would have not adopted the change of to the hybrid. So hybrid is wonderful. I encourage hybrid mode of teaching and learning. Still, we have to continue it whenever we feel that we need to do something extra and the students are not able to travel. There is a time constraint because seeing Bangalore traffic, seeing the situation, right, the present situation. So when a teacher from a room, from a classroom, she can address 100 of students. The doubt can be cleared at one time, at one shot in a given short of time. But when a child has to travel for a single doubt, then get it clarified and go back and continue with the study. So there are pros and cons, but I do support hybrid form of teaching because it has given a different shape to the education field.
In this, I would actually add up one more thing is, preparing parents again for this.
Right.
Especially parents who are in elite schools understand the need that, the child is with the laptop for a reason or a purpose. But what about those class of children who are in lower middle class? To get a laptop itself, the child parent would have, and about cyber security, because something you have got into your hands which you don't know. And where I will cut out on using things, how useful is those things, and where will I control my bad habits through that. So those should be the guidelines given. And I have this major issue when parents come and tell, I really don't know what is he learning. Whole day he is on the laptop or with the mobile. But do you think removing the laptop or the mobile phone from their hands is the solution? No. It is not going to be a solution because that is a skill. Even today, without a laptop, a teacher does not exist. So learning computer knowledge is a mandate skill set, 21st century skill needed for a child for a job market. So you can't remove it out of him. There were times when we had first time phone, any call used to come, we were like in a policing or investigation. Yeah. But today that is not the need. But we should know where to cut. So giving awareness on how practically you can use it and best you can utilize and get out of it is what we have to educate both parents and the children. That is going to be the challenge in this hybrid model.
So considering this, you mentioned about the awareness to the parents and students. So have you this is for both of them. So have you conducted any awareness program or workshop on cyber security or any counseling session, like the mental health also goes for a toss while having the this hybrid model, so which will also affect the child and parents in the long run when they get into the workforce later on. So on balancing that, considering cyber security, considering the pros and cons
time limit of that
of internet, have you considered of having the sessions in schools for students and parents?
We do conduct sessions because whatever we start, we have to first give the guidelines. So any program, anything which we start, beforehand we have to have some guidelines what we are going to do and what are the steps that has to be followed by the students and by the parents and how they are going to follow it. All those procedures are being given. And we also have check method also, because if they are changing the windows, how it has to be accounted and what they are doing. So everything nowadays, the technology, the AI has given us that platform to account the students' access also. So when we have all those things, when the technology is helping us to go one step ahead and secure it and then give them what is required according to the need. So we have to give the counseling first and then take a step by step. It has been done.
I have a bigger challenge, right? Because my school belonged to parents who come from very lower middle class families and probably a little upper middle class families. So we have bigger challenges, especially post COVID. I literally could not have, because many of the children did not even have a mobile phone and a laptop. So we had to acquire them from our old students, from the alumnus, from the old teachers, from parents who could afford it. Lot of the lot of jig jag got done at that time to see that every child has a access to the technology. That was prepared. A lot of loans were also given from the trust. We brought CSR projects of companies inside us. So then, post COVID, our challenge was how to stop this.
Right.
Okay. That became so diverse that the child. It was first time the child was holding a smartphone. He doesn't know where to stop it. So for us, that was the biggest challenge to make it how do you restrict. So we had young number of sessions on giving awareness on what is social media, Instagram, what is the time limit, what can happen. So these type of, and I have developed a curriculum over a period of these 3 years to all only mental health and wellness because of these sessions. Because we now have to cater this from lower level. So now this has become a part of our school curriculum. Ki every week, one period you have on all this aspect. Ki how will you lead your life like this with this problem? What will happen? Let it be a technology. Let it be a skill of communication. Let it be skill of empathizing with children. Let it be gratitude showing. These are all things which was just missing after Corona. So we went on awareness. Awareness happened for 1 year, which went with the process of developing the whole curriculum, which now goes in a full stream towards from 1st standard to 10th standard as programmed thing, which was developed in our school. So I think it is a learning experience to all of us. Every problem comes, but problem is never with a solution. So you have to just find a solution. Now also I find it difficult when parents come back tell me that the child is dependent on technology to write his notes or find information. Creative writing is just missing because of ChatGPT. Because the child is not able to write one sentence of his own English because it's easy to put words and get it through ChatGPT. So, but then how it is going to curb and affect the child is what we have to give awareness in the class. So I take these problems and issues and discuss the same thing in the class. So we have a Dropbox on which we give these complaints. So if we find anything, we find a program for it.
I think you both have set of experiences on balancing.
This is a very long topic. This is a very broad topic.
Yeah, so I'm sure you both have abundance of stories and experiences of students who are trying to tackle that balance between mental health, technology, and curriculum, which will definitely help them for the long run and when they go to the workforce. So with that, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Education Today is coming up on All India School Ratings and Rankings this December. In its endeavour to recognize and celebrate the journey of success of the best schools pan-India that have constantly proven their ability to provide world-class education to their students and thus mold them into leaders of tomorrow, Education Today rates and ranks these schools across various vital parameters in this issue. Block your space now to be a part of the Premium League of Schools and feature as one of the best schools in India.
Welcome back after a short break. Let's resume our session with next question to Saira Nazreen ma'am. How can schools address the needs of students who may be interested in unconventional careers such as in emerging fields such as space exploration and environmental sustainability?
A very nice question. Okay, the school, as I told you, the curriculum what we develop and the curriculum what we run in school, okay, it has to incline towards a 21st century skill. Now, when we are talking about space and when we are talking about the green revolution, sustainability, see, these are the new concepts. And the school plays a very, very important role over here, right from the curriculum development for the space and technology. Earlier, we had a science that only gave the textbook knowledge, not beyond that, we never explored beyond that. Now, coming up recent, in news and other channels, like ISRO has shown on the media, so many things have come up, and the students, inclining towards knowing the space, that technology, how it happens. When they come back, when they see this, and when they come back and they want to explore more, These have helped us to, build the space lab at schools. We are coming up with science and technology that has a mode of learning into the space technology. When we go in depth, then the teachers have to be trained accordingly, right? So there are, challenges to take up this curriculum, but at the same time, this is the need of an hour. When the student has the demand, when the curriculum is old, when the curriculum has to be refined or redefined, so we as an academician has to look about what it is coming up, the space and technology, the green revolution, the sustainability, okay, AI, digital marketing, okay. These are the few new concepts where when we talk about it, it is all, the students are knowing before the teachers are knowing it. From where it is all because of the media. The social media has given them the platform where they can, explore beyond. When coming back to school, why the schools have to be behind? Why our curriculum cannot be matching to the need of an hour? So the students have to be taken up. For that, we have to start working from behind. So how can we teacher be equipped with such knowledge? So we have to correct our curriculum. We have to have the training centers. So the mentorship has to be taken. When we take the teachers mentoring, it has to be in a way where they can connect it to the skill what is required. So these are few things that the school play a very, very important role in redefining the curriculum. Training has to be going on, and in-house training and continuous training. I totally agree that CBSE has come up with a lot of life skills. There are a lot of subjects, life skill subject, and the 21st century skill that they have given. And there are few online sessions that has come up where the teachers can get on board training, and there is a continuous training. So this help the teachers to be well equipped in the advanced technology, and the same thing they can pass on to the students where the student need this at this time.
That's really a thoughtful answer, ma'am. So my next question is to Dr. Gauri Prabha, ma'am. What are the challenges in adapting the current education system to meet the demands of future careers, and how schools can overcome these challenges?
There are too many challenges at present because first of all we need to know what is everybody is talking about change for what, change when, how. All these questions are unanswered in many ways because there is a diversity in India. Let it be schools, there are schools from with lakhs of salaries, lakhs of fees till the thousands. It's a diversified pool. So when we are telling change at every level is in different ways. So in schools like us, if I have to refer, so first of all, is challenge is going to be with the management because providing for facilities required for change is something which has to come from management, for which there must be a financial aid given to the access to the schools to bring out resources required for it. This is going to be the biggest challenge for especially schools at the base level, in the sense like schools with fee structure of 60,000, 70,000. There are still schools surviving like that. So being a school being self-sustained with the same amount and still ready for the change. So are the management ready without profit to still work over the resources? This is the question mark. Okay, the second one is collaboration and communication. Schools we have today in Bangalore with the radius of 4 or 5 kilometers, we have around 8 to 12 schools. Especially schools are there in front of each other's gate. So how are you going to collaborate? How are you going to communicate? Because at the end, it's just a business, right? It's the numbers which counts at the end. So are we going to collaborate and still learn and communicate? It's going to be a challenge. If so, how transparently and how? Or is it going to be translucent? So this is all the questions and challenges I think we have to answer. Though CBSE wants our teacher to go to different schools, train their teachers, and come out as, especially those who are senior teachers as PGTs, being subject specific, experts, going into other schools and training small schools to get the same quality of education overall in the nation, which is a good initiative. But how many of us are ready to send those teachers to it? Because teacher getting resources itself is a challenge. You are giving an access or a gateway to another school. So is the teacher going to retain or come back to your school? So that's also a challenge which is going to happen. The second, another challenge is going to be teachers training. Teachers are all becoming teachers just because of chance. Are they real teachers? If not, because getting teachers is difficult, so the best way is to train the teachers the way you want them. So then you start having a lot of professional development programs, right from in-house to CBSE or COE aided programs, NCRT, NIPA. There are so many institutes which comes, accredited institutes which come out for teachers training. There are a lot of websites now available for online, but is the mindset of teacher ready for it? Because everybody today wants to work from 9 to 5. But teaching job is no more going to be a 9 to 5 job. Are we prepared for that change in a mindset? Because when I tell a teacher online classes after 6 o'clock, which you have to attend for say around 6 weeks, and then you get this certified and probably it can upgrade, is she ready to do it? Because post that she was expecting to be with her family.
True.
So because she is denied her job as a software engineer and then taken up teaching just to be convenient to be at home back. Now, are we going to make her as a software engineer back?
Yeah.
This is something which we have to answer ourselves. Quality maintenance of your education. Because with this lot of changes and teachers going out for training, are we maintaining this quality inside the school? See, at the end of the day, education today is very, very expensive for a parent. It is not about the child coming at 8:20, having all the classes and going back with no product. Today we ask for the end product. I'm not talking about marks, but the product which can come out with some essence, might be like life skills, might be with his moral values, empathy, gratitude. There are a lot of things which has to be a part of their curriculum, so that when a school leaves out a child which is going to be for 18 years with you, almost a child is 3 years, he's entered with you, and he is left out with you when he is 12th standard. So almost say around 15 to 18 years the child, if some schools have, the extended ones, it goes on till 17, 18 years. So this period, are you maintaining the quality over each level? And who is going to assess that? How many observations? So that credibility must be there at the school. Because at the end, parents have paid fees, which is you are accountable for. Another one is lifelong learning for a child. A child which finishes 15 years of your life, you are like a parent, second parent to the child. A child finishes, how many of us go back to your school? So having that value to the child, you come back. Probably you might be at difficulty. We had this during this COVID times. We have seen IITs, working professionals of MNCs with high salary committing suicides.
True.
Because they don't know how to ask help. The basic life skill is to ask help. Nobody is, because we feel asking help is downtowing ourselves. We are going to get insulted because the simple things, in life we talk about big things, the simple things we forget, like asking help is a skill. Today when if a child was in difficult and had that bond of coming back and he was assured that teacher would help him, so that channel must be opened in a school where the child should come back and tell, this is where I think I have gone wrong. Do you think? Because every stage or every step of the child was guided by his teacher at that time. So if he can come back even after his college days, even after he is in his job profiles, after years of experience, if he has a gateway to come back, either to help the school or get help from the school. So that would be a better way to put it up. Okay, then other one is parents really need to change now. So that, there are people like, I have paid fees, so I send the child. School is supposed to do everything and come back at 4 o'clock and enjoy, because we all had 2 kids, one girl and boy. That was era before the corona. Now we have 1 child. The girl child was very favorite to father, the boy child was very favorite to the mother. So the other one was telling no. Like if a girl child does mistake, mother is there to tell no. And for a boy child, always father is waiting to tell no. But today there is only 1 child. Who is telling no? Nobody. So the no is from the teacher, which is the first word the child learns when he comes to 3 years old. So he has not accepted a no.
True.
So that I think is the biggest challenge what a school will face hereafter is how will you prepare your parents to post the school. You do have responsibilities because even to construct a house, we wouldn't leave it to a contractor. We would build it by every brick, every infrastructure. You would have planned it. So the child, I think, when he goes into your LKG, right till then to his university, you need to plan. So you cannot blame a child at the end of 18, 20. Many of the parents I ask, my old parents especially, I am abandoned by my children. Why did the child do that? Did we fail? Because the child was something which was an empty plate which was brought. We wrote it over. So it's very easy to blame. But where are we supposed to prepare for it? So I think that is the need now at present. Parents should know their role today. I have parents who are coming of 12th standard who tell me that no, the child does not tell me anything. Were you there to listen to the child when he was 3 to 4 years? You were busy with your phone calls, your financial arrangements, and your employment. Were you there to listen to him? He found people to listen to him. So when you listen to the child today, he is ready to tell you those days when you really want to listen to him. So I think you need to be the part of the child's life right from the day one till the end. Then only you will be the part of his process. So this I think is going to be the challenge for the readiness.
I would like to add over here.
Yeah, sure.
When we talk about the children education, we call it as KG to PG. Okay, the child enters the school, the KG, and then when the child is out, he is PG, and then he is ready to face the life challenges. Now, who is a craftsman from KG to PG? Teachers, academicians. At different level, there are different teachers who handle the child. Now, right from the basic, right from the pre-primary stage, the lower stage, there is an emotional bond, right? And when we talk about the emotional bond, this emotional bond continues till middle school. Later on, the child has their own emotions, okay, that overpower them and they differentiate themselves from the society, from the people, from the peer group, from their own parents. Now, when the child enter, we have seen the parents standing out and crying for their kids when they leave. They come, the hand holding, and then they leave the child and they start crying, and the child is telling bye from inside. Okay. Now, the emotional attachment, the child knows what to do, and the parents are not ready to accept the change what they are preparing for the child. First, the parents, the new parents, what the newly parents or new parents who have become a parent this year or 3 years back, so they have to be counseled before they enter. When they come for the admission process, we always tell there is an anxiety. So, okay, anxiety not for the student, it is anxiety of parents. How it will be, what it will be. So we always tell, give them time. Let the time take the turn. Everything will fall in place. So when we give this has to continue at till the PG level.
The problem here is when we have a school function, especially till third standard, we get 80 to 90% of attendance. But the moment the child is in 6th, 7th, and 9th, and 10th, you find the attendance is reduced to 20%. So was that not your responsibility to be the same parent what you were in the first day till the last day? So that is what I think is supposed to be given as an awareness to parents, especially when you pass certainly. Every year you need to do these orientations. You even as a school admin, you can't tell that, this is over now, third standard now, they know about the school. No, every year you need to remind their roles and responsibilities.
And when we talk about the career is not limited to one country. We are in the globalization stage. So when we talk about the career growth of the students, okay, they have to get the exposure, universally. So that care has to be taken at the school level. So different language has been taken up. Spanish, French, German are being taught in the school. What is the reason for teaching? So there is a reason why we want the child to be prepared, not only to the Indian economy of working model, but also he has to sustain globally. He has to go out. If he has to go out, so that communication skill, the basic skill has to be developed. So when we talk about the career, when we talk about the growth of the student, the school play a vital role in molding, shaping, and giving the student the wings to fly and to achieve the goal.
That's a great answer and very thoughtfully articulated answers. So my with that I have a last question of the session to Sarah Nazreen ma'am. So how can schools leverage alumni networks to provide current students with insights and opportunities related to future careers?
I would like to continue with the future careers. When we talk about the careers varies depending upon the like and dislike of the students. Okay, as I told you, at the beginning, at the middle school level, we have to start the career counseling or guiding. So that plays a very important role. At the foundation level, the student, the child will understand which career has what and what is the end goal of this career. So giving this knowledge, it can, deviate and it can decide which platform to take and how to move. When we talk about alumni, yes, this is a wonderful platform because we walk on the footprints of others. We always tell whatever it is, we have learned from history, whatever we are today, it is because the footprints we have followed and we have improved on that. So when we talk about alumni, they were our alumni. They had been here. They walked out with flying colors. They faced the world. They met the challenges. They have come out of the challenges. And when they are back to school addressing the students, so they prepare students mentally how to adapt to the change because they can connect to the students directly. And this is a recent change that has happened. Alumni plays a very important role. Earlier, we used to take all this guidance and all these things from our neighbors, from family friends, few people from the known sources. But now the school itself have taken this responsibility. They create alumni group. They are being invited. They are being, given the place to address the students and to make them aware about what the challenges are and how they have to work on it and how they can uh, do it in their future. So the school plays a very important role bringing up this alumni sector and coming up with this and meeting up with the challenges.
I would like to add.
Sure, you can add.
Lastly, I would ask. This. You ask any children from say LKG, UKG till third, fourth standard. Children live in dreams. They live in fantasy world. They don't know the reality. So you ask them, no, everybody wants to become a teacher.
True.
No, because
Yeah.
we all are fascinated by the teacher, and that's the first thing we see. But moment you ask a 10th standard child, do you want to become a teacher? She would have by now planned a pilot, an air hostess, which is more glamorous. So children don't know the reality even at that age. So I feel bringing alumnus into the school back gives them a reality check. Because planning a curriculum is not only about fantasy, it has a lot of realities. I like that subject, I like the profession, but what are the challenges? Am I going to face that challenge? Am I ready to face that challenge? Challenge can be anything. Challenge can be mental, skill, or maybe finance. Everything has to be prepared before you jump into that. So otherwise you will end up paying everything and I find that, I'm not interested. That's not my cup of tea. This happened with one of my child who did his 11th and 12th in science stream. Okay, now this 11th and 12th child passing 11th and 12th CBSE is not easy task. He has attempted for NEET also. Okay, so the child had prepared overnight. End of 12th standard, he decides this is not my cup of tea and I'm not liking it because I'm only studying and studying. I'm not enjoying my life. So he takes a year break to decide on what I really like to do. So that is the generation we are going to see now. So I've been bringing alumnus inside the school. Probably the child would have been mentally prepared even for that challenge. So this can help the school to make the children decide on what subjects do I like. Am I ready for that challenge? What exactly is that profession? How many diversification possible from that stream? All these things can be easy, and decision of a child becomes more easy and practical for the child.
So that's a very guidance, and the statements are extremely guiding factors to the students and parents who are still, planning to, choose what they want. I think both the panelists, they were extremely spontaneous, candid, and yet insightful for the session. So I extend my heartfelt gratitude for coming here and being a part of this panel discussion. Thank you so much for sharing your inputs and thoughts on the topic. So, schools have become a catalyst between students' skills and their future workforce, and that was today's panel discussion. We look forward to have few more discussions like this with you both, and that's all for today's panel discussion. That's all for today's engaging panel discussion. Feel free to reach out to us for any queries and questions. We would be happy to answer them. For more such videos, visit our website www.theenn.com. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment to this video. Thanks for tuning in. This is Pallavi Kulkarni, and we'll see you next time.